COVID-19 has been one of the most significant challenges that humanity has faced over the last 100 years or so. There has been significant spread of the disease causing so much havoc and destruction. The disease is one which really has plagued the mankind like never before. There are multiple factors, however, which can help us identify the disease in the right time using minimal resources to achieve a good outcome. Unfortunately, the panic which has been caused by this disease has resulted in over exaggerated use of drugs which may cause more harm. Therefore, there is a balance required in between not doing too much on one hand while not avoiding appropriate timely actions to avoid long term complications. To make the diagnosis and how tests are important, the key thing to remember out here is that, like any test for COVID 19 may be falsely negative. So, just because somebody is negative does not mean that the COVID infection is absent, and this is very, very important message to understand. Now, as discussed, the test can look into two different aspects. They can look at the antigen, which is basically the protein, a part of that particular virus, and this is typically detected via a rapid antigen test. As the word suggests, this is a rapid test. You just have to dip and compare to the two plates, and you will really compare and get very easily whether the test is positive or negative. Now, this test is easy, it's fast, but it has got a higher rate of false negative. What I'm trying to say is that if the COVID antigen test is positive, then it's definitely infection is there. But even if the test is negative, it does not exclude the possibility of an infection, which is also true for RT-PCR, but it is much more true for antigen. So a negative antigen test does not exclude the disease, while a positive antigen test confirms the disease. This is something which you need to be wary about. Now, the polymerase chain reaction is a standard way of assessing the nucleic acid material. It's a long drawn process in which we amplify a particular region of RNA or DNA, in this case RNA, to study the overall process and see whether the infection is present or not. It's a slow, complicated process. It's more accurate, but can still be false negative. So a lot of people talk about which test to go forward. I don't have PCR, antigen is there. Go for it. Go for any test. Even if you can't go for a test, assume if you have a contact, if there are clinical features, sore throat, fever, think that you have COVID infection, manage accordingly. But if you have a possibility of a test, definitely go for the test. Now, as discussed, these tests may be negative at a very early stage when there is no viral load, or at a late stage when already the virus has gone and now immune reaction is happening. There are a lot of talks about newer strains which may or may not be detected by different assays, because all kits have a different way they detect either the antigen or the RNA. And of course, if the sampling is not appropriate. So even if you are negative for a COVID report, even if it is RT-PCR, you have to still be cautious that it could still be COVID. So having a positive report means COVID. Having a negative report does not exclude COVID unless and until your symptoms have gone completely, which we'll discuss subsequently. Now, a lot of people talk about CT scan, and CT scan has emerged as a modality which is looking at establishing the diagnosis in confusing cases, giving an index of severity. But one thing to remember is that there is a very limited role of CT scan in the diagnosis and management of COVID. So if it's a mild disease, absolutely not required. The amount of radiation you get from CT is 300 times more than what you get from X-ray. It doesn't have much role. It does have a role when the physician is advising you, especially at the right time. Another very important thing to remember is that please do not get a CT scan done in the first 5 days of illness, because that can cause a huge confusion, because the way CT changes appear, they will around 5 days minimum to appear. So if you want to, or if you are advised a CT scan, do it between 5th to 7th day. And don't keep on repeating, because it's not going to help a lot. So CT has a role, but only in moderate to severe disease to decide about the need for steroids, as we'll discuss. So it is not recommended before 5 days. Very, very important to understand. The other mistake which often people do is to do a lot of blood tests in the beginning, and that causes a lot of confusion and can cause unnecessary treatment in that perspective. Now, as we can see, the role of blood test is not for any routine mild cases. It's only for severe disease. And I would say probably again around 5 to 6 when you have to decide about what next to do, whether the immune phase has come up or not. Now, what tests are usually done? We look at the clotting parameters like D dimers, the features like LDH, inflammatory markers, CRP, IL-6. Now, there are a number of tests which are done, but I'll focus mainly on two: CRP and D dimer. These two are the most important tests to worry about. If the CRP levels are more than 10 and the D dimer levels are more than 1000, this is a cause of worry. But again, this has to be done only in a combination with the doctors as to how, when the medical advice would be the most important thing to remember in that regards.